welcome folks. We have two questions. The first one, we are trying to solve a quadratic equation. Then the second one has to do with quadratic but a bit of graphing, right? So let's look at the first question, question A. Solve the equation 5x squared is equal to x. Now, to solve simply means to find the values of x. So we are trying to find the values of x. Now, looking at our equation, we have 5x squared is equal to x. So we need to make sure that this right side must have a 0. So how can we do this? We need to shift x to the other side. So if we shift x to the other side, we get 5x squared minus c. So this is our x. Then is equal to, the remaining part is 0. So if you want, you can solve this equation by using the quadratic formula, or you can even use the factorization method. Now let's use the quadratic formula. We know that for quadratic formula we need to look for c. So we just say the value of c is 0. Since it's not given, we just say the value of c is 0. So we have a, b, c. So the formula is x is equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. From this, the value of a is 5, b is the number in front here, which is -1, then our c is equal to 0. So now let's do substitution. So we have minus -1 plus or minus, then even here we are going to have -1 squared minus 4. What's our a? 5 times 0 over 2 times 5. Then we know that negative times negative will get +1 plus or minus. If we square this, negative squared is 1. -4 times 5 is 20 times 0, that is just -0, over 2 times 5 will give us 10. So 1 minus 0 is 1 over 10. The square root of 1 is 1, so 1 plus or minus 1 over 10. Then we split this into two equations. So one we have 1 plus 1, so say 1 plus 1 over 10. Then the other one will be x is equal to 1 minus 1 over 10. So 1 plus 1 is 2 over 10. If we reduce this one, 2 into 2 is 1 over 5. So this is our first value. Then the other part is 1 minus 1 is 0 over 10. Then our final answer is 0. So these are the two values of x. Then let's say we use the factorization method. So like we did, we need to have this one in a standard form. So it was 5x squared minus x is equal to 0. So factorization, we need to first look at the common factor. So our common factor is x. So we take out x, then we divide x into 5x squared. We'll have 5x minus x into x is 1 is equal to 0. So the first value of x is 0. X is equal to 0. Then the other one is 5x minus 1 is equal to 0. Then we take our -1 to the right side, and this will change into +1. If we divide by 5, also by 5, then x is equal to 1 over 5. So we've seen that we are getting the same values. Now let's look at question B. The diagram below shows the sketch of the graph of y is equal to negative x squared plus 2x plus 3, cutting the x-axis at a and b. Then question A, find the Roman number 1 coordinates of A. So point A represents the x-intercepts, so is point B. So the intercept is the point where the graph is touching the axis. So the x-intercept is where the graph is cutting the x-axis. Now we can't find the value of A, the value of A, just only A. We can find the two values, then from those two values we'll choose the one that corresponds to position A. So on this one we can use also two ways. We can use factorization, or if want we can use the quadratic formula. So let's arrange this equation in a standard form. So the standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So the first part is negative x squared plus 2x plus 3 is equal to 0. The reason why where the value of, where there is y, the reason why now we've put 0 is because the value of y in the x-axis is equal to 0. Now from this we can see that the value of a is the number in front of x squared, which is negative 1. The value of b is this number, which is positive 2. The value of c is this number, which is 3. So the quadratic formula is x is equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. We can now substitute. So b is 2, our a is -1, then our c is 3 divided by 2 times -1. Right, so x is equal to negative times positive 2 is -2 plus or minus, then 2 squared will give us 4. Negative multiplied by this negative will give us positive. 4 times 1 times 3 we get 12 divided by -2. Then we simplify the part under the square root. So 4 plus 12 will give us 16. Then we need to find the square root of 16, which is plus or minus 4. Like we did earlier, we need to split into two equations. So the first one will have -2 plus 4 over -2. Then the second one will be -2 minus 4 over -2. So x is equal to, here we get plus 2 over -2, which is the first value of x is -1. Then we know that same signs we add, giving us -6 over -2. So the second value of x will give us positive 3. So the coordinates, the first one will be -1, 0. The second one will be 3, 0. Now let's look at the one that we want. We just want the value, the coordinates of a. Now a is located on the negative part of the x-axis, so this a is the one for -1, 0. Then this is our b, even if we are not told to do that. Now let's say maybe there is one that would like to use the method of factorization method. So how do we factorize a quadratic equation? So quadratic equation, first we are going to find the product. So we find the product, the sum, then the factors. Right, so the product P is found by, you multiply the value of A and the value of C. So the value of a is negative 3, then the value of c is positive. I mean, the value of a is negative 1, then the value of c is positive 3. So negative 1 times 3 will give us the value that we are looking at here. So it's this value, negative 1, times this value, 3, will give us negative 3. So this is our product. Then sum is equal to b, the value of b, with the sign. So in our case, we have 2. Now the challenge is about finding the factors. But let's see how we can simplify. So the best way to find the factors, get a product. So our product is negative 3. Now for numbers like prime numbers, if the product is, let's say, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, etc., then the factors will be 1 and the number itself, because we know that a prime number has 2 factors. So here the factors will be 1 and 3, but one of these two must have a negative, and the one must have a negative, so that if we add negative 1 plus 3, we are able to get positive 2, which is our sum here. So we can now write our equation. So negative x squared minus x plus 3x plus c3 is equal to 0. And if you can see, if you add these, must give you this value. That's why negative x plus 3x will give us 2x. Now let's factorize by grouping terms. So the first one, negative x is common. Negative x into negative x squared is just positive x. Negative x into negative x will give us 1 plus, then the common part here is 3. 3 into 3x is x. 3 into 3 is 1, is equal to 0. Then we factorize this common factor, x plus 1. Then this will form a new bracket, plus 3 is equal to 0. Now we are going to set each factor equal to 0. So the first one, x plus 1 is equal to 0. Negative x plus 3 is equal to 0. So if we shift this number to this side, we give us x is equal to -1, first value. Then this will be negative 3. So if we divide by negative, x is equal to 3. So we can still see that we are getting the same values. Now we move on to question Roman number 3. So under question 3, we want the maximum value of the graph. So that one is calculated by using the turning point, the y turning point of our curve. So this point, so the value of this point is what we are looking at. So there is a formula for this. So y is equal to 4ac minus b squared divided by 4a. So this is our formula. Now since we are using the same equation, we said a is -1, then our c is 3, minus b is 2 squared over 4 times -1. So 4 times -1 is negative, 4 times 3 is -12, minus 4 over 4 times -1 is -4. So -12 minus -4 will give us -16 over -4. If we cancel, we can see that we are getting 4. And it's making sense. If you look at this point, the value of y is positive 4. Then if we move down here, this will give us the value of our x turning point of this parabola. So this is how we can answer a question like this one. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.